Morning, everybody. This is your very first lesson for higher geography. A little bit surreal for all of you that we're having our first higher lesson in April, and we're doing it all online. But if you've got this far and you're listening to the video, you've clearly followed the instructions in the Google Classroom, which you've all joined. And I'm just going to outline to you the course, show you a few things that are going to help you navigate your way through the Google Classroom and some other key questions you might have about the higher geography course in general and how it's going to work, certainly for the next couple of months. So let me start off by saying that every piece of work that you do in the Google Classroom between now and whenever we return to school, we will print off and put as paper copies into a folder. And the folder you're going to get will be very similar to what you're used to at National 5. And you'll get file dividers and it'll be broken down into all the different topics. So at the moment, it's all going to be done in the cloud, but as soon as we're back, I'll be printing all this work off for you. Okay, let's just have a little look about where you complete your work and what you're going to be doing. So at the moment, everything's done in the Google Classroom, and you'll get set an assignment at the beginning of each week, and the due date will be for Thursday. For the very first week of the course, you're not going to have a due date till just over a week's time, 10 days time, the 30th of April. And it'll just get you used to getting back into the swing of doing work, especially at this slightly higher level. I've picked a topic to kick off the course with, which is climate change, which most of you who've done the National 5 course will be familiar with. We will be going into it in a lot more detail. And obviously quite a lot of it's going to be your own exploration into some key themes to do with this topic, which is really suited to online learning anyway. Now, the course structure, as I promised, if we go into the classwork section, you'll be able to see that I put some resources into here, and you've got a resource called Revision website. And if we just click into there, you can see the Higher Geography Revision website, which is very similar to the National 5, and I'll have a look at that in a minute, as well as the Higher Geography Revision booklet. So if you want to pause this and click that open, it's up to you. Otherwise, I'm just going to click it open right now and give you a little talk through the higher course by using this booklet. So the course is split into 10 topics, and there is a checklist for each of these topics, which I'll show you in a second. First thing you need to know is, unlike National 5, there are 2 exam papers. Paper 1 is worth 100 marks, and it's the most significant part of the entire course. It's broken down into 2 subparts, which are physical environments worth 50 and human environments worth 50. So what we might call physical and human geography. Paper 2 it contains the geographical issues, of which climate change is 1 and development and health is the second. You can see them listed just there. And you get 20 marks in each of them, so 40 marks in total. And then finally, the only piece of map work that you get, which relates to your geographical skills, and that's a 20-mark question. There's a little bit more information on how to do well at the higher course, and quite importantly, you're going to have to start to get familiar with new command words like analyze, evaluate, account for, discuss, and to what extent. And these will crop up as we go through the course and you come across questions which include those words, because they require a little bit different from describe and explain. Right, here are the topics. So here are the physical environment topics: atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, and biosphere. So these make up what we call physical geography. Then you get the human environment topics of population, rural, and urban. And most of them should feel relatively familiar to you if you've done the National 5 course. I've also got a little checklist, and you can see that each of these little statements, just like in your National 5 statements, are the things that you have to learn. So you have to be able to tick these off as you go through the course to ensure that you are completing all of the key learning outcomes. So paper 2 is much shorter. It's only 60 marks. It's got 3 topics: development, health, climate change, and applied geographical skills. There are a couple of more topics available in this exam paper, but we don't study them, so you wouldn't be answering them come the exam. Whereas in paper 1, you have to answer every single question. And all of these things to do with the exam paper will become more obvious to you as we go through the course. You've then got loads of past paper questions here, which you can practice. Now that leads me to the second main resource I want to have a little look at with you. and that's the revision website. Now, you had one of these available to you at National 5, and it's got a huge amount of resources for you to use, including the popular video shorts where I reteach key themes. And here it is. And it looks just like National 5. You've got a little tutorial at the start, which you can use on how to actually use the revision website. And then you can click your way through it like I'm doing right now and visit different sections. So here we've got paper 1 and paper 2. So if we had a quick little look at paper 1, we could see a range of different topics that crop up here. And there's the 7 topics for paper 1. I could click into any of them and access loads of resources, videos, past paper questions, study checklists, and model answers to all of these. So there you can see the video shorts that help reteach the stuff. And here you've got the past papers revision checklist and model exam answers. So it's quite an extensive revision site. You're not going to use much of it before the summer, but as we get towards prelims in 2021, you're going to start making much heavier use of it. And whenever we do end of unit assessments, I would be expecting you to look at the various topics that we're about to assess you on. Okay, so that's what you've got in the Google Classroom. If I just jump back to the actual main classroom now, what else have we got? Well, we have got the course notes, and you will find here, if I just scroll down, in the climate change topic, you have got your student notes. Now, the student notes are really important because once you've opened it, a copy of this will be made for you. And every week when you finish your work for that week, you must hand it in because it is an assignment at the end of the day. And what we will do is we will then mark the various questions and have it returned to you by the following Monday to complete next week's set of assignments. It's been restructured slightly differently. So there you can find a little checklist of the main objectives, the things you have to learn. You'll always have a bit of reading to do. You'll have some tasks, and then you'll have to type an answer into the Google Doc. And your answers can be as long or short as you see fit, but I would encourage you to always pay attention to the lesson that goes with the tasks for some guidance on each of the different questions that you are set as we go. And it'll be quite important that you hand it in on time. If you don't hand it in by a Thursday, you may not get any feedback by the following Monday. We will return it to you by the Monday, but it takes us time to turn around and mark all of the work over the weekend. So that's why we're setting deadlines for every Thursday at about 5 p.m. at the very latest for you to submit that week's work. So these are the course notes. When we finish climate change, we will then move on to urban geography, and we'll finish off with hydrosphere. Okay, I'm also, final things I want to talk about. Over the coming month or two, depends how long we're closed for, I will send you invites to a weekly meeting, which you're totally free to join or not. These will normally, or I'll try to make these on a Wednesday. I'll split you in half because there's almost 40 of you doing the hire, so I'll split you into 2 groups of 20. It's up to you to drop in. There'll be roughly half-an-hour sessions, and they won't be teaching lessons. I'll use video casts to do that, but there'll be sessions where you can ask me questions about the work that you've been set for that week. So it's worthwhile having reviewed the tasks and having attempted them. And then if you've got questions you want to ask, drop into those tutorials through the Google Meeting app, and you'll be sent an invite via your Gmail. So that's one important addition to the way the course is going to work. And finally, when we get back in August, we'll be having a field trip to visit a river because we do a downstream study of a river and how it changes, and you'll be getting wet in a river, measuring its speed and lifting rocks and studying the river and investigating in detail. And that will go towards your assignment, which is worth almost 30%. Okay, so I've not really done anything about actually any teaching. I've just talked about the course today, how it's going to run, what's in the course, and all of the different resources that you have available to you, along with the fact that we're going to have some midweek meetings most Wednesdays for you to ask questions about the work you've been set for that week. And finally, that we will be starting the coursework early in the autumn term of 2020. So good luck over the coming couple of months. Please send me emails whenever you've got questions, and me and Mr. Anderson will respond to them as quickly as we can. And hopefully you're going to get a huge advantage having started the course so early.